Hello, Mark. Can you hear us now? Okay, perfect. So let's start again, okay? Okay, good morning in the United States.
Good afternoon, Europe.
Welcome to a new webinar about the new features in Plastic HCM. Hello, I'm Manuel.
Hello, my name is Violeta. We are going to show and explain the basics of advanced merge and merge conflict in Plastic SCM. This webinar will take around 20 or 30 minutes.
If you have any question during the talk, we will be very happy to answer them, and you can use the question system.
Firstly, I would like to say that what we are going to explain today is something that happens every day in a normal day of work. If you are working as part of the development team and you are using branches, you know what I'm talking about. You already have dealt with directory conflicts, not just once, I think a lot of times. We deal with directory conflicts every day here in our work. Now, here you can see all the kinds of directory conflicts. We will explain one by one with an example. If you have any question or you don't understand one of them, you can ask.
Okay, let's start with the first one, the evil twin. The evil twin conflict is the most common conflict in our days. Let's see how we can provoke it. Okay? I'm going to show you all the scenarios. I have just created it to avoid create one by one and lose your time. This is all the branches with the conflicts. This is how it looks, the branch explorer. It's a little bit ugly because I have a lot of branches, but only one change per branch. So let's check the first one. Okay, I have two branches. In the source branch, I have created a new file called fetcher. This file is under the replicate directory. And let's see how it looks the other branch. Just the same. It's not the same item. Actually, there are two items that are called the same, and they have been created in different branches by the same user this time and in the same location. So let's see what happens if I try to merge one branch into another. I have first to switch to the branch, and now I merge from it. And Plastic is telling me that I have an evil twin conflict. I can even choose the resolution method with a short explanation about what happened in the branches. So this is telling that an item has been added on the source and on the destination with the same name, and they are different items. In source, I have the fetcher item, and in destination, I have the other one. I have three options. I can keep both changes, but renaming the destination. So the destination file, the destination fetcher.cx, is going to be renamed into fetcher destination.cx, or I can keep one of them. I can keep the destination of the source file. This time I'm going to keep the item added on source. I click OK, and I process all the merge. If I now go to the pending changes view, I can view that a new item has appeared and the one I was having in my workspace is deleted. So I'm going to commit the change, and that is how I resolve the evil twin conflict.
Okay, let's continue with another one. Change delete conflict. This is quite simple to understand. Okay, let's see the difference in the branches. For example, if I see what I did in the source branch, okay, I change a file. I just made a change in one file, Okay, let's see now what I did in the other branch. In that case, I delete the same file. Okay, as you see in one branch, for example, in that case is the same user, but imagine you are working in a team and you change something in one file, but other person just delete that file. What happened? Plastic SCN will help you to resolve that conflict. Let's switch first to the branch, and now let's perform the merge. Okay, Plastic is telling us that you have to resolve a delete change conflict. Okay, in that case, you just have two options to resolve the conflict. You can keep short changes. In that case, you will keep the delete, or you can keep destination changes if you want to keep the modified file. Okay, for example, let's keep the delete, the first option. Okay, I will process the merge, and if I go to the pending changes view, okay, the result of the merge is that the file will be deleted because it was the option you already choose. I think it's something easy to understand. I also think that it's something that can happen normally. Okay, the next one is quite similar. It's a delete move. As you can imagine, I will delete a file in one branch. Let's see the branch. Okay, so in that case, I deleted a directory. Okay, and now I will move the directory to other location. Now you can see both changes in both branches. In one branch, I delete the directory, and in the other one, I just move the directory to another location.
Okay.
Well, there is a question.
Yes, Greg is asking us if can evil twins be compared, differ? Yes, well, actually, you can do it in the merge window. We will review it at the end of the webinar. Okay, all these new cases will be done at the end of the webinar.
Okay, I will just finish with that conflict, switching to the branch and merging from the other branch. Okay, as I told you before, this is a move delete conflict, and as the previous one, you can resolve the conflict keeping the source or keeping the destination. In that case, I will keep or the move or the delete. Well, Manu, you can keep the delete if you want in that case. Process the merge. So now if I go to the pending changes view, as I keep the destination, there is not any new change to apply. Okay, so just the merge link will be checking. If I would have changed, I would have choose the other option. I would have applied the move.
Okay, now I'm going to continue explaining the move evil twin. This is a variation of the evil twin that we can get it using the move operation. So let's review the branches in the conflict. This is how it looks, the content of the source branch. As you can see, I have moved the assemblyinfo.cx into the parent directory. Okay, instead of under properties, now it's under replicate. So let's check now the other branch. This is a word change, but actually it can happen. I have renamed the replicate.x into assemblyinfo, and I also move it into the same branch as before under replicate. Let's compare both branches. So in this one, I have this item firstly renamed into assemblyinfo and then move it into replicate. And in this other branch, I have just this file, move it into replicate. Let's see what happens if I try to merge. I have the move equal to in conflict. I'm going to choose a method resolution, and as it is equal to in conflict, I have the option to remove one of the files.
Rename.
Oh, sorry, rename. So I can rename the file, I can keep the move done in source, or I can preserve the move done in destination. In this case, I'm going to rename one of the items. So I have just need to click OK, process the merge, and in the pending changes view, I can see the new item and the move operation. Because I keep the move operation, I have renamed the one I have it. Okay, let's see the next conflict. Is the divergent move. This one is a little bit more complicated, but it can be easily handled by Plastic. Let's see how the branches look like. Okay, in this branch I have moved the appconfig file into under the, there's a question?
Yeah, Mark is asking if did you skip the cycle merge?
Let me check.
It's true.
Oh,
Well,
okay. Okay,
you can change and do first the cycle move.
Okay, let me explain first the cycle move.
We didn't want to miss any conflict, so
Oh, don't worry, Mark. You are right. We are following one by one. So the next one is the cycle move. I will show you. It's very easy. So let's see how are the branches. Okay, in the first one, I have moved the replicate slash object to replicate bin object. Okay, the object folder is now under bin. Let's see the destination branch. It's just the opposite. Now the bin is under object. I will put line by line because I understand it can be confusing. As you can see, here the object is under bin, and here bin is under object. So it's actually a cycle. Let's see how Plastic handles this situation. Okay, it's recognized as a cycle move conflict. And these are the options. I can keep the move done on source, or I can keep the move done on destination. This is very easy to resolve. You have here the information about the merge. So in this time, I'm going to keep the move done in source, for example.
Well, Manu, we didn't saw before resolving the conflict. You can just click cancel now.
Yeah.
And here in that window, in the merge window, we have also a diagram where you can see how the merge is.
Okay.
So maybe here, well, in our case, it's quite simple, but imagine that you have a huge branch explorer. This is a simple diagram where you can see the source, destination, and base of the merge.
You can even compare the destination and source changes between each other and see what has been done inside them. Okay? It's very useful when you have, as Violet say, when you have a branch explorer that is actually huge. So I think this time is not very useful because it looks like more or less like our real branch explorer, but in a really huge one is very useful. Only the relevant changes are shown, and the ones involved in the merge are painted with these labels. Okay?
Okay, now Manu, you can continue with your conflict.
Yeah, thank you. So I was telling that I'm going to keep the move done on source. So I'm going to undo the one I have in destination, that it's actually my workspace, and I'm going to take the one in the branch I'm trying to merge. Okay, I process the merge, pending changes view, and here you have the result of the merge. Okay, it's the action done in the source branch. Okay, which one is the next one? Okay, now the divergent move. More or less is related, but it has some differences between the cycle move. Let's check it. Okay, divergent move. Okay, I'm going to show you the differences. Okay, I have moved the appconfig file into the bin directory, and now in the parallel branch I have moved the same file but into a different folder. Okay, so let's compare it. In this branch, the appconfig is going to be placed under bin, and in this other branch, the appconfig file is going to be under object directory. Okay, so one side and another side. So that's because it's a divergent move. Let's check what happens. Okay, it is recognized as a divergent move, and as you can imagine, I can keep one move or the other. This time I'm going to keep the one destination, so I'm going to discard the source changes and nothing is going to be done in my workspace. That's because I get an empty pending changes view and I only have to commit the merge link. Okay, so you can see our branch explorer is evolving as soon as we perform more merges.
Okay, let's end with the add move conflict. As you can imagine, this conflict will be made because one person add a file, okay, and other one move in the same location another file with the same name. Let's see the difference in the branches. Okay, for example, in that case, one developer add program CS file in the root directory, and another one move another file with the same name that it was in replicate directory to the root directory. Okay, as you can imagine, this is a conflict, and Plastic will help us to resolve it. Okay, let's switch to the branch, and now we can perform the merge. Okay, as we can see, we have add move conflict.
One thing, Violeta, if you can see here, if we switch to the other branch, we will have a move ADD conflict instead of ADD move conflict. So it's all about how the merge is done. So don't worry.
The direction of the merge.
Yes, don't worry if someday you get just the opposite conflict. It's going to be exactly the same. Yeah, it's going to change only the way you are doing the merge.
The same happens with change delete and move delete. You can get delete move and delete change conflict, okay? But the meaning of the conflict is the same, and you can resolve in the same way.
Okay, I'm going to show you just in case you are not sure. This was recognized as a ADD move, but if I switch now to the other branch and I do the merge in the opposite
Direction.
way, I will get, instead of ADD move, I will get a move ADD conflict.
Okay, now we can resolve this conflict.
Okay.
And as you can imagine, in that case, we have three options. We can keep both, but you have to rename one of them because you cannot keep two files with the same name. You can keep source or destination. Always there are the same options. It's quite easy. Okay, in that case, we can keep both and rename one of them.
You can choose whatever name you want. It's not necessary to preserve this one. So this is, for example, a testing file. So I will rename it as you can see.
And now if we process the merge and we go to the pending changes view, we see that we will keep both files, but one of them with a different name. These are all the directory conflict that you can have, and all of them are pretty good resolved with Plastic SCM. To sum up, just we wanted to say that you don't have to be afraid if you have directory conflicts, okay? Because Plastic SCM will help you to resolve, and it's really easy to do it. We just demonstrate that you can resolve any conflict easily.
You can even have a couple of these kind of conflicts in a same merge, and it's going to be very easy to resolve them.
Okay, Greg is asking for divergent move. Is there an option to keep both copies? If not, what would be the process to accomplish this manually?
Actually, you cannot keep both copies because you are using the same item. So the same item has been moved into different locations. So you have to decide which target location is the right one. If you want to get the two copies,
you could add a new
yes,
item with the same content.
It's the only way to do it. You have to duplicate it and create the same item with the same name, but it will be a different item for Plastic SCM. It will be an evil twin, but duplicating the item. Now, if you have any question or you want to review some case, or maybe you want to repeat some of them, I think at the beginning Greg asked us if the evil twins can be compared. I'm going to show you how all the diff options we can use in the merge explanation. Okay, I'm going to create a child branch. Okay, it's going to be Greg evil twin from the last change set of main, and another one Greg evil twin destination, and I'm going to switch to the branch. So I'm going to add here a new file, call it, for example, ref.txt. Okay, I'm going to add it. And in the other one, I'm going to do the same.
Okay, the sample that Manu is doing now can answer the next question it by Greg. Greg is asking also that for evil twin, what if the two twins are identical? Would it correctly merge then, or instead there is a conflict between the two? Okay, Plastic handle that for it there are different items. So even if they are identical, for plastic there are different items. So always you will get the evil twin conflict.
Yes, for plastic it's going to be the same, that the differences are almost identical or things like that. It's going to be a different item, so the evil twin is going to arise. Now I want to show you the differences that you can run using the evil twin. Okay, I think.
Well, let's finish.
Okay, let's
before
finish
with
because
that
Placido is
example
asking
because
more.
yeah,
Yes.
but it's a different conflict.
Okay, I can view the content on source. That this is a webinar example. I can also view the content on destination, and I can diff each other. Okay, so that's all. You can review all the steps. Okay, you can do it from here also. Okay.
Okay, let's see now the question of Placido. When you are having the move add conflict, if I decide to keep both, will I still be able to see the previous revision of or plastic start a new history to the rename file? No, the item will be the same. So you are not losing the history. Just you rename the file, but it's the same item.
Let me check.
Manu is checking if he can show you.
It was ADD move or?
Move 8.
Okay, ADD move conflict. So, and ADD move. If I switch, I cannot remember what I did, so I'm going to do the merge again, okay? Okay, I'm going to switch to this branch, and I'm going to merge again. So here I have three options. I can preserve both changes, that I think is what Placido is asking us. So I will show Placido what's happened. So keep in mind that in destination I added a new file called program. So this is actually a new item for plastic. This is the one that maybe can have more history. But after doing this, I'm going to have this one and this other one, but they are going to have two histories, and of course we are not losing history in the merge. So I will show you. So I have this one. And I can see that I have 1 and 2, okay? Here was created, and here was moved from program to program my workspace file. And if I ask for the other history, we have more history, okay? This one was created in the first change set, in the first ADD, okay, as you can see in the comment. Then it was changes, okay, it was moved into the root item, and finally it was merged down here. So you have the two histories, okay, although they are named very similar, they are two items different, okay.
So the answer to Placido is no, you won't lose history.
Okay, we are waiting for more questions. If you want to create a new test case, of if you want to recreate one of the system, we can do it right now. Okay. Oh, we didn't do the correct evil twin, but it's going to be the same as the evil twin we did before. Okay, we will wait for 2 minutes to get more questions, and if you don't have, we will finish the webinar. Remember that you can imagine all the scenarios you want. Okay, Steven is asking. Okay, yeah.
The presentation slides.
Okay, if you
Well,
want, I can send you the slides, and we can share also the repository. Okay, I can send you. This is configured using SQLite, I think. Let me check it. Yes. So if you need it, maybe I can generate for you a fast export file, and I can send you the whole repository. Okay. More questions? Stephen, if you are also interested about this webinar, we are going to upload it into our YouTube channel, so it will be public. You can watch it as many times as you want.
Also, the previous webinars are already uploaded, so if you want to review something, you can listen us once and as many times as you want. Okay, so I think that's a good place to stop. There is no more questions. So thank you for listening, and we will be here. Well,
Mark is asking us about our YouTube channel, so I think it's Plastic SCM. It's not very original. It's YouTube. If you search for Plastic SCM, you will get a lot of videos about our tool and things. Okay, it's very interesting because we have a lot of videos. Okay, the user the the YouTube user is Codice Software, so you can search for Codice Software and join to the channel. Okay.
and we will be here next week to explain more about plastic. And that's it.
Okay, thanks for attending. See you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.